Yo, the Brolys all got buffed, so I'll go over them all and put them together in one video, covering their new combos, pressure, and other buffs. Kefla got a few changes, so she'll just slide at the end there, since these three are all Legendary Super Saiyans, you know? Siblings? I don't know. Let's start with Z Broly's combos. His unskilled starters finally scale properly, and apologies to the Z Broly community for my last Z Broly combo guy from like 2 years ago. That was kinda slacking, but now I'll make up for that. Off 2M you can confirm off 226S, and then here is the Vanish Ender doing J214L, delay 5L 2M 214L, and this helps to confirm into your level 1 supers. Specifically 226H plus S, not L plus M mid screen. Even being able to side switch there. Here's his third ender. I just want to showcase how his combos from before have been optimized because of the medium skill property, right? So this one we use EX grab, and then we aim the key blast down by holding up into the grab, which lets us go into level 1 for 6.9k solo. And his last combo ender that he has that I want to cover is J3H. So at the end of combos you can go into J3H, and then you can get into this super for more damage on that super. If you land like his charge 5H or 5 in general as a frame trap that we'll go over later, you can go into his rejump for more damage. And as a reminder, if you land 2H and do JLLL, when you bring them back to the ground, you can do dash into combo here. And here mid screen you have to end with a grab. And yeah, all of these combos are just the same off skill starters where you can end in any of the 3 or 4 combo enders that you want. EX grab is nice because you can go into super as well. And off his super dash mid screen, you can go for his 2H for a little rejump thing. Just a reminder for all the new Z Broly players that are going to pick him up, because I'm anticipating there to be a little rise, you feel me? But what we really want to get into mid screen is the EX Lariat. So once you reach his corner, his damage output becomes crazy because he has access to loops. Here are his old orb loops. Here I'm just showing off as a reminder, but he has new Lariat loops. And also here, if you don't delay the vanish, you get a JDR, which is not what you want. You want to land a command grab. But this still does pretty good at 7k. But it can be hard to end in that J3M in the corner on these really long loops. What you really want to get into here is delaying the vanish slightly after the L grab, so you can land a grounded DR into 214L on the ground for a combo ender. Here you can just end the combo, but with a super here you can get 7.3k, so 300 more damage than before. His other loop with the Lariats is a bit harder because you have to delay the 5H and delay the Lariats at their lower, so you can actually connect your 5Ls in. But if you do a side-by-side comparison, the orb loop not only does more damage here, but it also builds more meter. So I don't know about this one. Off skill starters, if you do 2M, 5M, 5S, you can get the EX Lariat in. And what's good about the new Lariat loops is that you can get J3M as a sliding knockdown in the corner. If you have 0 bars, you can go for more loops, since that requires you to have a vanish ender, so more meter to actually end it, or else it'll drop. Or what you could do on these skill starters as well for 2 loops is after you go for them, you can do 5L, bunch of T blast 5H, 214L for a knockdown. In the corner, things kind of change a little bit, so after the 236S, you can hold a fully charged 5H and then get into your loops. So here we're going to compare the orb loops with the new Lariat loops. This one, if you get the grounded DR ender after vanish, you get up to 6.8k. But with the Lariat loops, because it takes less hit stun decay than the orb loops being a quicker normal, the orb loops taking more time. You can actually fit an extra loop here on unskilled starters, which ends up leading to 7k damage after the 214L ender. Which means 8.4k solo, oh my god. If you want a meterless ender, what you can do is do a couple loops and then at the end finish with 5H 214L. Or take away a loop and then you can end with multiple key blasts into 5H and 214L for 5.9k off a 5mm starter. After 5H, you can go into easier loops as well. You can confirm 2M, 5M with Key Blast into 5H if you want to. Here, this leads to 5.2k, but it's still pretty good. Off of skilled starters, you can get into just one loop and then ending it early with a limited amount of Key Blast, but still getting pretty good damage at 4.6k. And he also has this different loop by doing his medium Lariat into light Lariat. This one being very hard, but doesn't do more damage than his 5H, especially hard on smalls. Here's how the full combo from medium to light Rekka can look. And again, if he's in limit break or he has meter, these basically turn into TODs, not gonna lie. It's actually crazy. Vanishing after the JLs here. 7k before the super, which is insane work. Off a charge, 5H can get a 5L to link, and then you can go into loops like so, this time ending meterlessly with the Key Blast 5H 14L route. So all of these upgrades to his unskilled starters and his loops makes it super easy for Z Broly to TOD, as if it wasn't easy enough already. So this one just, you know, a couple loops into the slow level 3 with 214 H plus S as it lands DR, and we're going to level 1. Oh my god, beautiful, man. And his B assist can make for crazy spark combos because of the regen. I know you guys have seen these combos where regen's on time to be used multiple times in the same combo, but we'll go through his assist soon. So in pressure before, he used to only pressure with his lights because his lights were the one that were safe. This 2L being 0, 5L being -2, but now his 5M is at safe -5. What this means is that before, once you go into medium territory, they don't have to worry about like resets and stuff, because everything is just so unsafe, right? So you can't really bait things. See, for example, when I get into my mediums, I can never do grab or reset because if he DPs reversal, a fast enough reversal, I'm unable to block. I'm trying to hold back here, but I can't even block because it's so minus. But 5M being safe actually acts as another layer where I'm able to actually bait out things while still having the grab as a threat. And if I do bait something out, boom, medium starter. And his main mix-up, all of his normals, all of his light normals are 50-50s because if you delay 214L, it's an unreactable command grab at 17 frames. But now because 5M is much safer as well, you can add it after 5M for a little mix-up as well. Not only can he pressure off his lights and now mediums to bait things, to layer his grabbing, but also his heavy being -5. That's another pressure reset point in which you can go for in which you can go for really delay grabs that come out faster at the end of 5-8 versus before. If you pass your lights and 5LL and they don't mash, you don't get an opening. If I get to here, I'm forced to use an assist, which is good because assist helps with his left-right setups. But if I don't have assist and they don't bite on any of these frame traps, I can end in my lariats that are now safe as well. So I don't have to always force myself to go into like these grabs and forcing something to happen. I can just safely end on my lariats without having to worry about getting punished. That's the main thing in pressure, but one thing that I want to note is that Z Broly deals with a lot of fuzzy jumping. These are delay jumps so they don't get grabbed, and they also stay safe from frame traps. This means you need to delay your normals even more. So what's good about having faster normals is that it's easier to do these frame traps. So here, because 5M comes out so fast, I can do a good rhythm after 2M here to frame trap them. Even after his LL, I have to delay even more because it's so fast. And 236S can be a nice frame trap combo starter as well. And same thing can be said about fuzzy mashing super dash. So you need to make sure you have your frame trap timings down. That's why it's good to do 5S into medium grab to mix in with 5S delay 5H frame trap. But now you can also do 5S 5M, which is really nice for Z Broly. This is also where holding the 5H to handle these fuzzy mash options can come in. Although you don't really get armor from it like his grabs, which would have been nice. But what's huge about also holding it, brother, it's +2. So if they hold this, you can go into your mix-up grab. Or again, boom, 5L. And if you want to really abuse respect IADs, like what? Like imagine he hits you with this, threading the low, boom, cross-up. Or boom, into same side option. What? But primarily just to reset back into your 5L. And the main advantage of this is fuzzy jumping is Z Broly's main enemy, right? But if they fuzzy jump block this, he's +8, bro. That means he can continue into 5L without having to worry about reflex or reversals. Isn't that crazy? He gets a guaranteed turning section every time. I can't even DP in the gap, bro. But again, it's only against fuzzy jumps, not against weaker regular jumps. But that's where your regular 5H comes into frame trap. So you have to be mindful of that. Last thing about his pressure is if you hold 6L during his auto combo, the last hit is a grab. But this doesn't have armor. So I don't think it'll be used as much since his command grabs are so good, but it is nice how you get full meterless combos from this. That is a pretty big deal. 3.2k by the way. Last few changes to cover, his shell now recovers ki while deflecting assists and projectiles. 0.6 bars per set. Making it really insane in neutral, bro. And even if he's walking forward, he's getting more from that. Like, goddamn. If you hold SM214S, you float up, in which you can air dash. So after J3H Oki, this can help you get a safe jump. or you can just be manually meaty with it while getting extra bar in your combo. And lastly, he does have some mix, with 214S holding S to be airborne, cancel it with J214L plus assist, going to a high-low situation even if the low is a slower 2M, or left-rights mid-screen by floating around with enough block stun, sneaking in fast fall lows as well. This technique can also be useful in neutral sometimes for like instant aerial grabs to surprise your opponents. And his B assist shoots more and is faster now, but you can also hold back to determine how far you want him to appear up, and you can push him as high as you want depending on how long you hold it. It's going to be really good to pair with jump-ins, and like an SSJ Vegeta, expect super dash afterwards. Oh, and C assist has better invul earlier. Alright, time for DBS Broly. First off, his JS chains have an extended hit spacing on the initial attack, which makes the loops easier. Here we can actually link in the JM, so a little variation on the loops, but I don't think it's more optimal than before anyways. Showing off some synergy here with Z Broly, where we can get the 6H236S Ender, ending with a level 1. Just a little reminder ting on how DBS Broly works if you haven't seen, and you can check out my DBS Broly combo routes for details on these older routes. This means that it now works on Z Broly, and he was the only one you can do the loop on. And another reminder is that after these loops, you can always do dash and the auto combo to get a whole bar for every auto combo that he gets. So this can be very nice to optimize your combos with your teams to get 3 bars. Into his level 3, with his level 3 you get his buffs and his passive meter build as well. Very nice stuff. Micro dashing here afterwards is nice to get a bit of meter as well. Although it's still no bueno in the corner, but we have new corner routes to deal with bigger bodies like Z Broly. 2S now links after 2M, so you can get some confirms mid-screen going to any loops that you want. Or even get into some double beam routes by delaying the 2M after 5L here, land 2 beams in. Or with the 6H buffs being increased distance and duration to be able to be used after 2S, and increased stagger time and hits while on the ground to be able to combo into 2L after, makes for nice combo extensions. And again, you can land a double beam route here after 6H into 2L, 2M, fire the beam into another loop route into whatever you want. Showcasing the 5M range buff here, and then if you spend the EX slam delay beam heavily, and then you can get 6H to connect, going to a loop, and then ending like so for really good damage off a medium start. And if you land 6H in pressure as a headbutt grab, you can confirm into beam right away for more corner carry and damage. This one I show off a solo DR ender in case you want that for 3.4k damage. His late command grab 214L can look like this, so dashing up doing 5L to confirm it, but this time we do 2S beam into 6H to continue the combo going. Sadly we can't do a JS loop in here, but it still gives us pretty good damage at 3.7k. Time for the Kona, where he has these new beam loops delaying 2S after the beam, and then you just mash 2L, mash 2M, mash 2S. This isn't optimized or whatever, but it is kind of cool for him. You can also get these J8S into land 2S beam loops inspired by run-in, and here I got 2 of these loops in, but maybe you can get more to optimize it, although the damage is not too great. This is just his old optimals from the last patch, so it can compare with his newer routes. This one is just meterless and it leads to 6.2k with almost 2 bars. As for his new max damage, Big Chap Alien found this route using 4 stomps, and then after the beam here mashing 2L, you do 236L holding up so you get the slow orb to fall, and then you end with a pretty generic ender for 7k damage. That's pretty good. And you guys remember how the corner loops don't work on bigger characters, right? But the beam rejumps do work on bigger bodies, so I think that's the main purpose of them, to substitute out the orb loops for the beam loops on bigger characters like Z Broly, like Cooler. So I think that's the most useful practical use of this combo extension. But the thing is, bro, DBS Broly never had a damage problem. Even last patch when they made it easier for him to get access to high damage with his orb loops, he was always spitting out damage, especially when his armor is off. All of these combos become like TODs, even sparkless, you feel me? So here's just a sparkless limit break shirtless TOD using the beam loops. I thought it was kind of gas. But now let's break him down further. Frame data heavily improved. You got his A-frame 5L at -5, 5M at also -5, 2M increased block stun, -5, 5H charge version, -5, 5S, -11 cheat. But what this means though, same thing as Z Broly, being a grappler, he can actually block stuff now. Because of the safe frame data, his rhythm is much better now. He can do things a lot quicker than before, being a lot more effective. So frame trapping after 5L is good, frame trapping after 5M is solid, because you're able to cancel out of these earlier now. So before, not only were true strings hard, but it would be hard for him to block some of these, but now he's actually able to. And before, you could jump out of 2MM, but now you can't really interact with it. You can't jump out and punish like you could before. Vanish is able to come out though, so there is like a frame 4 gap. And remember, pressure's in your hands, so this is good because you're the one that says if you're going to 2M, they don't know. So you can use this on purpose to bait things out, get full punishes. And since the gap is so small now, they can't really do the things that they were doing before to punish you. It's always going to be a bigger risk, which is why stuff like this becomes really strong. So 2M frame trap with itself, or 2M frame trap with 5M to safely reset. And 2MM -1 on block, you see that? 2M into itself to frame trap, very solid and safe. 2M into 5M can frame trap, 2M, 5M as well. All very good points that you can manually time to have windows for frame traps. And that's where the grab can get really dangerous, right? Especially since you get so much out of it. You even have the medium grab as like a call out, bro. Because his grabs have been buffed. 22 frames for the light version. Light version can be as fast as 22 frames. And EX grab being 20 frames point blank. So not unreactable, but still effective. So after 5L, you can do 2M, 4L right away. But after 2M, you have to delay it a bit. So 2M into the grab, you have to delay it slightly to get it to connect. But with 5M, you can do it right away as well. And then EX, honestly, you don't really need the EX version. You can use it to Dragon Rush Crush, or if you want more damage, but you get so much damage from the light version meterlessly anyways. And then you paired this with his other tools. Especially since like it seems like they want you to pressure with 5M into 6H, which can make for some interesting pressure, even from far away. This is where the key blast can come in as well for like spaced out pressure, because 5M reaches as a really safe reset by pushing them back mid-screen. Like look how far I am. Bluku can't reach, but SBR can. Let's say I'm pressuring, right? I go boom, 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 boom. He can't reach. So if you get your punishes down, he's similar to Basecoon, where he can pressure from really far, controlling the distance. This is pretty crazy pressure, bro, because you can grab them. That tool is interesting to pressure with as well because it has reaches. That tool is interesting to pressure with as well because of the armor that it has. And his spaced out same side option, yeah, it can be plus on block, +3. That's kind of crazy. But in the corner, it can be added with JH and then combo with your special. And Z Broly also has these really far frame traps and resets as well, which is really strong. And also if he hits them like really far away, even with the charge version, he can't grab. Whereas DBS, if he implements Shamies too, he always has that 6H no matter how far he is. But yeah, on top of everything, is just having nice strike throw stuff is good. Besides that, his A assist sped up to 30 frames with 36 frames of block stun. And his C assist also at 30 frames, but his B assist is very goated. Also, you know, his passive buff of regenerating meter with his armor off, and they also did that for limit break, right? But those two stack up onto each other, so he charges up like a battery. I like how they gave both the Brolys the "my key is rising, it's overflowing." Alright, Kefla actually did get some new combos and a couple buffs. If you delay the third hit of her auto combo and then dash up, you can connect a 5M mid-screen, in which you can go into the Saiyan B and B to continue. It has to be cut much shorter to fit J236S mid-screen though, so JH is the wave for this specific combo. This works on smalls too, but the timing is much harder. And if you want to end with J236S mid-screen, it does way less damage because you have to cut it short. This can be really good on skilled starters, being better than her 5H 236L into Super Dash mid-screen. Here you do 3 key blasts, and then you do 2 key blasts the second one, then you do JLLL. But the only bad thing is that you can't do it off of 2M, right? So it's going to be weird to take it from with 5M, that's why skilled starters is better. To build on this concept, you can do dash 5M 5H into the orb super dash, that gives you 4.6k. And if you can land 5H in, that means that you can land her re-jump in, and if you're close to the corner, Then you can add the super dash links, and you can get up to 4.8k meterless, by the way. This could probably be optimized. And for damage, you can spend that half a bar with quarter circle forward heavy into her command dash, jumping up. But you can't get sliding knockdown off this, so you can only go into supers or assists. 5k before supers. Skilled mid-screen, this can still be used, but you have to shorten the combo a lot at the end to get sliding knockdown solo. This one leads to 3.7k. But low-key, it might be worth just using assist if you really want to extend these skilled combos, because it is better meter gain and everything, you know what I mean? With the option of doing a Hell Zone Super 2 on top of that. But low-key, if you want to stay solo, it might just be better to do the basic stuff. The most optimal version of this skilled is by doing dash 5H instead of doing the 5M, and then you can preserve some ki blast for later, but it still does less than her normal skilled. There is this really cool link though. After the medium auto combo, you do 5S and a 2-on-4M into her post vanish route, delaying 5H there, and if you reach the corner, you can end in sliding knockdown solo for 5k. Honestly, I might have to add this one to the bag because it's just sick, man, even though it's not as optimal. And I'm wondering if you can get some side switch sauce after the auto combo, maybe. In the corner though, you're able to connect 2M in and then extend it with her 2-1-4M lariat into her combos, but it doesn't do as much damage as her optimal previously anyways. Her optimal can look something like this in case you're wondering, where you super jump JM, JL, couple ki blast in, and on the skilled version you just remove some hits, so less JMs, less ki blast. Besides that, close to the corner, you can also link in like 6H after 5H. And then the thing is, her ki blast just generates so much meter, so even though the damage ain't increased, the meter gain is still really good. And you can now link in the medium auto combo into Hell Zone, which could make for some interesting setups. I have no idea why it's side switched here. But on this one, you can see how you can do her old J226S into her command dash and then continue the combo from there. This is still a really hard link that, you know, Kefla players need to master, but it's not a bad thing that she didn't get new combos because her combos are already very sufficient, to be honest. One bad thing is that her J226S into tag doesn't really work like how it used to. You just have to manually time it with quick tag now, which is a bit annoying, but it can be something that you work on if you really choose to. Although in the corner it works the same way, you just tag right away into Dragon Rush. Although it does open a room for some character specific synergistic stuff like Zamasu's flight, I guess. Even a low to the ground 226S, I even got a side switch to go here. Goku Black Loki a lazy pull because he's synergistic with everyone, but still you get the idea. Besides that, her level 3 has been sped up when they're in hit stun, so it helps to not drop your combos with your supers, but also in situations like this, when you don't have the smash, you can still combo it, which you could do before, but I don't know how else to show the difference. I mean, that's kind of saucy. It's not completely useless. Is it useless? Yeah, but so I guess you're kind of feeling like UI now. Besides that, her C assist has more blocks on as well at 40 frames, but that about wraps it up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel like it improves everyone, especially Z Broly's and SBR's ability to be points, mids, and just play in any position. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.